talk new tricks.
Stay? What, stay here or where you are?
The Bob Morrison Show.
Wow, what a piece of tail.
Guest starring Nicky Buckley.
Hi, Pumpkin.
8:30, Married with Children.
I used to call her Pumpkin, now she is one.
9 o'clock, the Madcap Masters of Disgust and Disguise, Hale and Pace.
Hello, everyone.
Tuesday night comedy on Channel 9.
Newsbreak, brought to you by National Mutual.
Good evening. 20 Australian tourists have had a lucky escape in a bus crash in the Austrian Alps. 5 people were killed when their coach and a tanker collided. The latest Disney movie, The Lion King, is about to hit our screens. The full-length thriller cartoon cost millions and took 2.5 years to make, and the promotional hype is almost as big as the movie itself. Down to 6 degrees tonight, but a fine start to the long weekend. We'll have more news in Nightline after the football, and I'll see you Monday. Good night.
Monday on A Current Affair. Remember the crims we exposed running a TV station?
And you're in jail for armed robbery.
Just when you thought they were behind bars, they're at it again.
For $29,000, we haven't seen one piece of work yet.
With a new trail of victims.
Sorry.
Also, next week, those expensive spare parts.
Basically a graveyard of cars.
Our guide to the hidden traps.
Over $1,000 just for the line.
And the best value. Plus, monkey business.
She just needs to find the right man.
As Coco the gorilla goes video dating.
The big kid.
On A Current Affair with Ray Martin.
Still the one, Brisbane's Channel 9.
Friday Night Football, proudly sponsored by Mitsubishi Motors, Medway Bank, Ansett Australia and Powers, Queensland's home.
Tonight, the challengers throw down the gauntlet to the champions.
Bolomouda works the run around McCracken, bursts into a hole, Wilson support, that's a classic try.
The front-running Canterbury Bulldogs on a collision course with reigning premiers, the Brisbane Broncos.
Langer away for Platt. Platt serves it up. Brisbane, they go in again.
Can the battle-weary Broncos revive their title defence?
Kevin Walters to Kevin Walters. And across now. Madison. Madison saves the bowling. Goes through.
Or will the super-disciplined Dogs dash the Premier's hopes?
Oh, there's got to be a try here. Scott Wilson's looking down the barrel of his first. Jason Smith supports. Jason Williams, the Kiwi.
Brisbane has the talent.
Hands away. The big man. Oh, back Wendell.
But will it be enough to stem the blue and white tide?
Open spaces for McRae, doesn't get the bounce. Wilson
now,
does.
Defence becomes attack for the Doggies. Wilson goes to the 20. On now to Darren Smith. They've got to score surely. And Darren Smith goes all the way.
The Broncos versus the Bulldogs on Friday Night Football.
2 of the Premiership big guns do battle tonight here at the ANZ Stadium in Friday Night Football. Last year's minor premiers, Canterbury-Bankstown, take on last year's premiers, the Brisbane Broncos. Many people saying that tonight is the night that the Broncos' semi-final aspirations will come to an end. A man very close to their camp, in fact their skills coach is Gary Belcher. Gary, what are your feelings of their chances tonight?
Well, I think they can win. They need a few players to lead the way, and the 2 players that should do that are Wendell Saylor and Mark Hone, both in great form over the past month. Wendell, of course, has been thrust back to fullback. I think he'll suit the positional change. Mark Hone, well, he's just going to go forward. He's done that very well for them in the past end for Queensland. I'm a bit worried about Canterbury, though. Plenty of form players. Matthew Ryan out wide. He's played well wherever Chris Anderson has asked him to play. And Martin Bella, he's got everything to prove. He wants that State of Origin jumper back, and he wants to do it up against Hone and G.
Yes, a couple of players tonight will do their State of Origin, hopes the world of good with big performances. A new face joining us tonight, albeit a well-known one, former Australian great Michael O'Connor. Mick, you played a lot of State of Origin games. Are you surprised that Brisbane requested this game 2 days after a state fixture?
Peter, I am. They've had a very hectic schedule over the last fortnight. They've had the Wigan clash, they've had State of Origin appearances, and it is a big ask, both mentally and physically, on these Brisbane players. Their backs are to the wall, and I think it's going to take a superhuman performance to start tonight if they're going to win.
A few positional changes. O'Neill in the centres?
Yeah, I mean, his hands are tied, really. He's really only got one specialist centre now that Steve Renoff's out of the game. And, I mean, what do? He's tried him at fullback. He's tried him at lock. Wendell Saylor at fullback. There's a question mark under him, over him under the high ball. But really, he's had a policy all year of picking his best 13 players, and that's what he's stuck to tonight.
Well, most importantly tonight, Canterbury, an opportunity to go 5 points clear, at least overnight, on the premiership ladder. And they would love nothing better than to beat Brisbane, the side that knocked them out of last year's competition in the premiership final. To see if they can do that, let's now go to Ray Warren as the two sides take the field.
Thank you, Peter, as the fireworks explode and the Brisbane Broncos come out to a crowd that hopes that they will explode tonight and come back from being underdogs as they run on now to win over Canterbury, the competition leaders. They're in the middle of a torture trail, and many of these players, 8 of them, in fact, who played on Wednesday night, backing up 2 days later. Led by Alan Langer, that's their team. Saylor, Hancock, O'Neill, Johns, Kahn, Walters, Langer, Hone, Kerrod Walters as the hooker, G, Galia, Ryan, and Sid Domick. He is in his debut match for the Brisbane Broncos in first grade. Kahn back on the wing, with Wayne Bennett opting to use Wendell Saylor at fullback and bringing Julian O'Neill back into the centres. There's Wendell Saylor, who will wear the 5 jumper and play at the back of the Brisbane Broncos. Canterbury-Bankstown, the competition front runners. They've won 9 in a row and they're going for 10 tonight. 2 of their players, Darren Smith on the bench, he played on Wednesday night. He's on the bench to start this game. And Dean Pay, of course, a magnificent debut to Origin football. There's their team: Wilson, Williams, Ryan, McCracken, Halligan, Dimmick, Moore, Britt, Hetherington, Bella, Gillies, Dean Pay and Jason Smith. And of course, Jason looking for, along with Darren, I would imagine, with Martin Bella, big games, because the Queensland selectors, it would seem, will be making some changes for the 3rd and deciding Origin match at Lang Park. Martin Bella, of course, dropped for State of Origin 2. David Manson in charge of this game. Broncos going into this one on 11 competition points. And many people are saying it's a must-win game. I don't quite agree with that. But of course, it'd be a bonus for them to come up with the 2 points against Canterbury, as Martin Bella takes the first tackle on his own 20-metre line. And Jason Smith has taken heavily as 2 Broncos bring him to a halt. Mark Hone was one, Andrew G the other. Darren Britt now, 27 metres out from the Canterbury-Bankstown line. Magnificent season for them. They haven't had the services of Terry Lamb now for 4 rounds it would be. So it goes away now from Hetherington to Dimmick, and Dimmick reefs it down the ground, bouncing up for Wendell Saylor. Crowd pleaser already, brought down on his own 20-metre line.
An excellent chase there from Canterbury. Jim Dimmick will do much of the kicking for the Bulldogs, and they'll try to take a leaf out of Illawarra's book. The way the Steelers got away to a flying start against the Broncos. That's the kind of start that would get the Brisbane side thinking about the work they've had to endure.
Andrew G taking it up powerfully, about 38 metres out from his own line. Your 4 rounds have gone by with no Terry Lamb. That, of course, adds weight to a great season for Canterbury-Bankstown. Langer's kick is a great bounce for the Broncos, really. Now are they outside the 10? Halligan rounded up. All those Bronco players in front of the kicker. Dean Pay put away strongly near the halfway line. And again, Darren Britt. Wayne Bennett, of course, will use his interchange to its fullest tonight. Talk about star players on the bench. Glenn Lazarus and Terry Madison. Jason Smith, regarded by many as the form player of the Winfield Cup. Dimmick. Dimmick's kick is high, very accurate, and Saylor came down with it, lost it, and got it back in again. Great effort by Wendell Saylor.
Plenty of work this week, Ray. Wendell Saylor, as he's under pressure back there at fullback. He's done a great job there. He's held on to that one. Wayne Bennett this week has been full of admiration for Canterbury's kick-chase game. He's told Wendell he needs to have a good game there, bringing the ball back.
Knock on by the Broncos, advantage to Canterbury. Play quickly by Matthew Ryan. Jason Williams does the circle. 15 from the line now. Hetherington for Bella. Bella drawing 3 Broncos in defence. Plays it within 8 metres of the line. Across from Kevin Moore. Dean Pay is with it. Scott Wilson went charging through. Hetherington again lets a decoy run, then Moore, now Dimmick. This is McCracken. Was it forward? It was from Dimmick to McCracken. That's the way it's been seen by David Manson.
Some excellent defence there on the fringe of the ruck from Brisbane. The final tackle was a good one from Kevin Walters. He was the man who dropped the ball to put pressure on his own side, just took his eyes off it. He went low on McCracken, who had a full head of steam.
Langer now working this scrum close to his own line. Kicked across the ground by Alfie Langer.
A strange play there from Alfie. I thought the opportunity was there for him to dive on it, but he saw it under a bit of pressure.
Unbelievable play by one of the superstars of the game in the face of his own line.
I can't believe that.
I know he's playing his 5th game in 18 days, but I don't think there's anything gone wrong with the grey matter.
There's been a bit of a few words said about Alfie's kicking game. Maybe he wants to get his eye in early.
Well, you expect his short kicking game to be at the other end.
You do.
This is Andrew G now as the Broncos grind it out to the 30-metre line. Then Alan Langer gets his kick in. And it's a very long kick for Alan Langer. He's not renowned as a long kicker of the ball, but that was a beauty. Scott Wilson did well for Jason Williams. 40 metres out from their line now. Kevin Moore, a dummy half. Darren Britt takes it up. 3 of the Broncos swarm in. No score in the early moments of this game. Broncos, as I said, in regard to Alan Langer, many of them playing their 5th game in 18 days. Dimmick, a face ball, bouncing at the feet of McCracken, accepted by Halligan.
That's why it's important, Ray, for the Brisbane back row to have big games tonight. Dominic, Ryan and Galia, they're the fresh players out there. They have to be the workaholics and take some of the pressure off the likes of Marcone and Andrew G. Last tackle now, the ball goes again to Dimmick. Cross kicks, Wendell Sailor. He won't get this one on the full, but he gets a good bounce.
He was lucky that he did get a good bounce, and then he stands them up and runs around them. Throws the pass in field, finds Alan Langer. Langer's 30 metres out from the line. Oh, classical stuff by Sailor. The Broncos now on the attack, 30 metres out. Kevin Walters using Dominic. And this big youngster tackled 30 metres out from the line. Well, Galia that was. Langer. G. Thinks about passing, does. Kerrod Walters. Ooh, he sold his brother a dump. Kevin was shadowed there by Simon Gillies. Now Langer. Johns. Chris Johns pushing it back for Kerrod Walters to knock on.
Well, that's been the big problem for the Brisbane side, is very simple, unforced errors. They like to keep the football alive, but Kerrod Walters, he had a good catch on the football here, as did his brother Kevin at the other end of the field. They just came up with cold mistakes for Scott Wilson.
Great tackle by Langer. Scott Wilson it was. Now Jason Williams, who's been in fine form. Linking up with Dimmick in the centre of the park. Halligan on Hancock. McCracken sees an opening down the flank. Draws the defence. Matthew Ryan tries to step inside Sailor. Canterbury on the attack. 10 metres out from the line. Moore. Britt. Pay. Dimmick. Rushing off a player. Then back for Britt. Now with Hetherington. Turns it inside. Broncos advantage.
Oh, just tried to do a little bit too much there, Hetherington. You saw why Canterbury lead the competition in 2 passages of play. Beautiful work. Darren Britt couldn't control the football. A little handoff from Dean Pay. Beautiful skills from most of the Canterbury team here. This pass back inside into the Brisbane player. Up came the mistake.
They work their way out to the 20-metre line, the Broncos, and another mistake, but it's gone backwards.
Well, both sides are showing that they're willing to throw the footy about. The last set of 6, we see Canterbury with a mistake, and before that, Brisbane. I think it's the side that can hold the ball for a couple of sets of 6. Might put first points on the board. A vital first score needed here for either side.
Let's go down to the sideline and take a comment from Mike O'Connor now.
Yeah, the Brisbane side, it's a sign of a tired side, isn't it, when they come up with unforced errors, as were mentioned. Canterbury, on the other hand, they're getting a good roll on with their props, Darren Britt and also Martin Bella. My question is, though, over their play the balls, they don't often touch the ball with their foot.
Bad kick by Alan Langer. It went up and down in the same place, really, and Canterbury, look at the field position. They're inside the 20-metre line on the first tackle, and they're fanned out to the right now. That's where they go, and they find their captain, who hands it off to Kevin Moore, then onto the chest of Dimmick, wide to McCracken. Here's danger. Halligan for the corner, gets it back for Dimmick. Dimmick puts it over the line. I do believe it's a try. Yes, it's a try. Awarded to Jim Dimmick.
The support play of Canterbury is absolutely outstanding. McCracken, such a strong performer, able to get the ball away. But here's how it started. An ordinary kick from Alan Langer out of dummy half. I think they do have to kick from dummy half, but try and get some length. Well taken by Jason Smith, and straight away they hit to the right-hand side with Dean Pay, the little offload. Kevin Moore getting outside Domick. Jim Dimmick selectively to Jared McCracken, gets around the tackle of O'Neill. Now, Darryl Halligan looked as though he was going to be held there, but he got a good pass away to Jim Dimmick, who trailed around, and that's great support play.
We're going to see as this ball comes out. Here's Sterlo. A short ball from Dimmick to McCracken, who went through the hole. He beat his man on the outside. I think he could have scored himself here. Looked like he passed a bit early, but Halligan did very well, that offload.
No doubts about Dimmick getting it down before the corner post went. And hasn't this man, Jim Dimmick, blossomed as a player? South Sydney junior. Warren Ryan sussed him out and took him to Magpies. And from there, of course, down to the blue and white jumper of Canterbury-Bankstown. 83% strike rate for Darryl Halligan from the sideline. Looks okay. Just wide. So after 10 minutes of play, Canterbury lead Brisbane in Friday Night League 4-0.
Amalgamated Pest Control. If you thought Metway Bank only lent money for personal needs, it might come as a surprise to find that they also lend money for commercial enterprises like this. Money to buy the building and its fittings. Money to lease equipment so business can grow. So if you want to mind your business well, talk to Metway soon.
We'd love to do business with you.
Hey, everyone in town has been ordering pizza. Pizza Hut's quality at an unbeatable price. Any 2 large pizzas, only $16.90. Just ring 892-1111. Hey, see what I mean? Hey, how you doing?
For 10 days only, Naji goes public. Everything at a fraction of normal retail prices. Naji goes public for 10 days only. 201 Elizabeth Street, opposite the Hilton. Ends Sunday, June 19th.
Overstock crisis forces urgent footwear clearance at Amart All Sports tomorrow. Reebok, Puma, Nike, Brooks and Saucony shoes. Out they go at $79.95. Slazenger squash, $69.95. Tungsten darts, $32.95. Weight benches, $249. Madison boxing, $179. And fishing rods, $39.95. Top brands sacrifice tomorrow. Prince tennis, $129. Fishing combos, $56.95. Exercise bikes, $149. Head tennis, $129. Heaps of Origin jerseys and supporters footballs. Plus, Brisbane's biggest range of World Cup supporters gear has just landed. Authentic jerseys and T-shirts at sensational prices. Amart All Sports, Brisbane, Toowoomba, Gold and Sunshine Coast. Open 7 days.
What new taste sensation can possibly please even Dime's fussiest food critics? For Natasha loves delicious salmon and whitebait. whilst Seymour enjoys tasty cheese and Boris prefers tender meats. Introducing Dine's Special Blend. This unique combination of tastes, whole whitebait, cheesy crisps and salmon or beef, will satisfy even the fussiest food critic. New Dine's Special Blend. It's a special way to dine.
He was an outsider who fell in love with more than he bargained for.
I'd recommend you keep your eyes and your mind off my property.
She was his best friend, and now he's breaking her heart.
But she runs with the rich and the beautiful.
Mary Stuart Masterson.
I know it's a big stretch, but try it.
Eric Stoltz.
Because I want to stand up to him.
Leah Thompson.
You're asking me out on a date?
A bittersweet tale of love.
The only things I care about in this goddamn life are me and my drums and you.
Some Kind of Wonderful, 8:30 Saturday on 9.
Brisbane restarting after conceding a try to Canterbury. On the other side of the break. And here's the try scorer bringing it back, Jim Dimmock.
Well, he's been a sensational signing for Canterbury, hasn't he, Daryl Halligan, their leading try scorer with 7 for the year. We know his prowess with the goal kicking. But even there, to set up that try, he had to hold off both Wendell Saylor and Michael Hancock to get his arm free, and that's no mean feat. It's about the buy of the year so far.
Bella. Hit and spin back to Hetherington. Hetherington put away 31 metres out from his own line. Mark Hone is working overtime in defence, although it was a strong tackle from him that saw Dean Pay able to unload that ball that led to the try. Talking of hard work, Wendell Saylor has had plenty of it. Tackled by Jason Smith and Jim Dimmock and Jared McCracken. So he's attracting plenty of attention as it comes across for Langer. And Matthew Ryan is there to put him away. No gain in ground, though, for the Broncos as Andrew G rolls it up 45 metres out from the line. Kerrod Walters. That's Galia in 29. Kerrod Walters into dummy half. Long ball finding Langer, pushed along the line for Kevin Walters. Now Wendell Saylor taken by McCracken. Fingertip control by Julian O'Neill. McCracken's tackle on Saylor was good, even though he was able to offload. Langer's kick now, placed over towards the corner, but Scott Wilson anticipated well. 25 out from his own line. Halligan comes in to take the forward play. Out to the 30-metre line. That's Mark Hone around the legs again. Kerrod over the top. Dean Pay now winding up. Brought down around the legs by Galia and over the top by G. Now Britt. Kerrod Walters went low on the big man.
Pass was a little bit sus there. You mentioned Terry Lamb's absence for 4 weeks, Ray, and the blossoming of Jim Dimmock. It's an inside pass to Gillies.
Jason Smith for Simon Gillies. Now Martin Bella gets it away for Scott Wilson. He stands and unloads for Kevin Moore. Back now for Wilson. Wilson, he stands and looks to unload. Oh, he's on the hurdy-gurdy and put away. Tremendous effort by him, though. Also by Bella. Jason Smith for Dean Pay. Back and away from Moore. Hetherington gets it away. It's with McCracken. Razzle-dazzle stuff. Canterbury, they're white hot at the moment. Bella's pass for Jason Smith. Just outside the 10-metre line, and that's the turnover.
Oh, I thought you were going to explode there, Ras.
Well, I tell you what, I wouldn't mind if I did, watching that sort of stuff.
Oh, but you've got to take your hats off to the defence as well. Keeping it alive, Canterbury. They got keeping it alive. The Canterbury side, they got busted Brisbane, but they got back in numbers. They switched back to the right-hand side. A lovely little handoff to Jared McCracken. Must have been 20 passes in this. Big Marty Bella, right-hand fling back inside, but still there's plenty of defence there. They did a good job, the Broncos, scrambling.
Well, they're playing touch footy almost, aren't they? And when you see the Munster, Marty Bella, involved, you know that Canterbury are confident with the ball. Plenty of support.
Beautiful stuff by Canterbury, Michael.
No doubt about it, their support play is unbelievable. When you have a look at Brisbane, on the other hand, they've made one clear break, and that was Wendell Saylor. The only bloke he had in support was Alan Langer.
I was going to make the point earlier about the blossoming of Jim Dimmock. With Terry Lamb not playing as Hancock nearly gets through, the support players not dropped off because Dimmock plays a similar style of game. In fact, when he kicks the football, he's always the first chaser down there as well. So the enthusiasm with Lamb not there is being kept going by the number 6.
Langer, Kevin Walters, Chris Johns, very good defence man is McCracken, outstanding footballer. Langer, a penalty for Brisbane. It was taken late by Simon Gillies, I believe. But Walters talks to David Manson and makes an appeal for another penalty somewhere else along the way.
Well, he'd be disappointed, Chris Anderson, so too Simon Gillies, because the little kick through was well and truly covered by Jason Smith. No need for Simon Gillies to put the shoulder in at all. Now, we've said plenty of times during the year, sometimes difficult for players to pull out once they've launched themselves. I thought that Gillies had ample time not to go through with the shoulder charge.
Michael O'Connor on the sideline. I'm just watching Julian O'Neill preparing for the kick. Under normal circumstances, the Broncos would take the quick tap penalty and play on, but I think they might be just sucking in a bit of oxygen by taking the penalty.
You took the words right out of my mouth. It's the first time I've ever seen the Brisbane Broncos do this. Usually they're very keen to get a quick tap and take the yards, and this time they're taking big, deep breaths. I can tell you, they're very tired.
They've also got an injury problem with Chris Johns limping in background, just going up into the line. Now you can see him just at the left of shot. There is a better shot of him limping around. He might have picked up a cork on the right leg. They're very difficult to play with. You must keep moving.
Might be a reflection of the fact that in their last premiership game, the Broncos didn't score too many points against Illawarra. They'll be keen to get on the board. It's only 4-0. Themselves off to a positive start here.
Julian O'Neill's record says that he only gets 1 out of every 2. And this one, the flags are up. 4 points to 2 after 17 minutes in favour of the Bulldogs.
Sunday night at the movies. Thunderheart.
Where the hell did they send us? Long way from home, Ray.
Val Kilmer.
Better keep your boy on a leash!
Sam Shepard.
Look, somebody's trying to tell us it's checkout time.
And Graham Greene from Dances with Wolves.
Chasing the wrong man. Jimmy didn't do it.
Sent to investigate a murder.
Nobody's gonna talk to me.
In the most hostile place on earth.
It was a good day to die.
For the first time on television.
Put your seatbelt on.
Thunderheart. 8:30 Sunday on Channel 9.
I know this bloke who doesn't follow rugby league. I've explained the signs, I've demonstrated all manner of tackling techniques.
Tell him he could win money.
Footy Tab. Win money.
Good food, good health with Simon O'Donnell.
Sometimes girls who are keen on sport get a bit too fanatical about their diet. For a really fit body, you need a balanced diet with plenty of iron from lean meat and cereals and a high calcium intake. Dairy foods are the richest.
Very good crowd in at ANZ. Probably in the area of 40,000, 45 maybe. As Brisbane trail 4-2 and Willie Kahn comes outside the 20-metre line. What a week of football we've had. It's not over yet, but Melbourne Cricket Ground with 87,000. And here tonight, over 40,000, and the competition leaders are playing the defending premiers. You don't get a menu like that too often. Played by Galia. Hancock. Pulled down right on the halfway line by Dean Pay. Langer kicking a lot in the game. A couple of them have been ordinary, but that's a better one because now Wilson tries to attack back from the corner, and that's the easiest part of the ground to defend in. Matthew Ryan with that headband tonight. 10-metre line. Oh, Brisbane had 3 markers there. Penalty goes to Canterbury.
That's exactly what the penalty was for the 3 markers. You saw the fingers go up from the referee, David Manson. The third player coming in late didn't realise there would be time for the 2 men already there to get in front of the player playing the football.
Manson played the advantage and then gave the penalty. And they find the line right there, just outside the 30-metre line for the tap. Bella runs it home. Look at the blind side, and they take it. Hetherington working with 2 of his big forwards, and Simon Gillies is near the halfway line. Big Darren Britt driven by Mark Hone, but again they're able to unload, and this is Kevin Moore. 4 points to 2 then in favour of Canterbury. Hetherington over for Demick. And Jared McCracken slips and falls, and Julian O'Neill looked as though he came down with the elbow. The Sailor comes away from the kick into the corner. He beats Simon Gillies. McCracken is there to put him down. Have a look at this tackle. Julian O'Neill as he goes down there. Forearm to the back of the head. Surprised it didn't bring a comment from a referee or a touch judge.
It was nice to see that Jared McCracken didn't react too much to it as well. He lives and dies by the sword, Jared McCracken. He gives plenty. He knows that one was a cheap shot, but I think he'll believe he'll get an opportunity to use the shoulder later on and do a bit of damage.
More trouble for the Broncos. Hancock is hunched over, back inside the 20-metre line. He's in a bit of trouble with what appears his right forearm or wrist. Kevin Walters promotes for Chris Johns. Trouble for Canterbury. Willie Kahn did well. Kevin Walters supports. And they've lost it.
Oh, I thought that should have been 6 again.
Well, referee Manson there, he's obviously already played the advantage to Canterbury, and then they've lost it.
Maybe he ruled that the Brisbane pass, the final one, was forward. This is running the ball on the last tackle. Chris Johns, what about this pass from Willie Kahn? This next one, that's a great ball. Back to Kevin Walters. Well, I can't understand why if that ball's come out, it wasn't play on.
Well, he passed it forward, Peter. Canterbury accepted
well,
the forward pass.
I don't think it went forward.
Well, I do, and I'm just going to explain to you that in my opinion, he believes Canterbury did not gain an advantage from the play. And that's why he called it up. That's what he's ruled. No advantage went to the side, supposed to get it off a breach by Brisbane. This is Bella, a handoff for Dean Pay, crossing the 30-metre line.
But what about Martin Bella's offloads? He's popping the ball up on every occasion. I haven't seen him do this.
You think he's trying to impress somebody?
Oh, I certainly think so, yeah.
Jim Demick, purposeful kick, but it's got too much weight on it.
Well, I just think that Martin Bella is taking advantage of what everybody else on the side can do. As Glenn Lazarus comes to the sideline now. There's so much confidence in this Bulldog outfit. Darren Britt offloading. The back row is outstanding, especially on the fringe of the ruck at passing the short ball.
Of course, Canterbury have got some fairly vivid memories of recent clashes. Mark Hone is the first to get a rest from his coach. Trouble over there. O'Neill has made a meal of it. And this big fellow, Glenn Lazarus, who we talked about his agility on Wednesday, was there to pounce on it. Sailor. That's how close to their own line they are. Lazarus made many yards on Wednesday. That's Galia striding away from a couple of tackles. 5 gone. Langer's kick is quite deep and well placed. Darryl Halligan comes back and tackled on the halfway. And again, some of Brisbane's problems being highlighted because Canterbury are coming up with the football on their first tackle in very good field position.
Well, Langer's actually getting a fair bit of distance with the football, but his problem is that the players aren't getting him into a better position to be kicking in the last tackle. He needs to really be over the halfway line to be able to drive the ball deep into the corners. On that occasion, he kicked from 40 metres out from his own line. They're not getting the momentum and the advantage line in their own danger territory.
Bella played it. Kevin Moore on for Dimmick and then Matthew Ryan. He runs across the park. Still going is Matthew Ryan. Turns it inside for Darryl Halligan, who's pulled down by Kevin Walters. It was very wide in defence. Dimmick goes to the air. Jason Williams is going down the ground fast, but the Broncos come up with it after the ball bounces for Khan. Penalty goes to Brisbane now.
Simon Gillies there, penalised for dragging the player back. He was already tackled, which is unfortunate for the Bulldogs. They've done a good job here. Good chase there. You see Willie Khan climbing. The tackle is completed there. No need to roll him over closer to the try line.
I was about to make the comment that Canterbury have got, I would imagine, vivid memories of some of their more recent encounters, and here
Glenn Lazarus has dropped the ball. I don't know whether the pass was that good from the tap. Either that or the big fella's taken his eyes off the football, but whatever happened, it's a mistake before the first year. He just took his eyes off it. No problem with the pass.
Ironical, a little slap on the shoulder from Kerrod Walters to encourage Lazarus. Matthew Ryan crossing the 40-metre line. I made that comment because there were rumours that Kerrod and Glenn had words leaving the field on Wednesday night. But that pat of encouragement, I'm sure, came from Kerrod Walters. Kevin Moore along for Jason Smith, inside for Jim Dimmick. Tackled by Kerrod Walters and Andrew G. Kevin Moore tries to slice through. Oh, Bella put it down. And he had Wendell Sailor only in front of him.
Yeah, Bella would have been hard to stop there. He was coming at top speed. Mightn't be that quick for Martin, but he does carry some bulk. Good work from Kevin Moore. Spotted the opening. A little bit of cover there from Brisbane, but he'd have gone close to scoring, front rower.
Heavy tackle now from Bella and McCracken. Hancock seems to have recovered. Lazarus wants the ball, but Kerrod Walters spotted an opening.
This is the area here that Sterlo was talking about. The yardage forward. They're getting towards the halfway line, and that's what Alfie Langer needs, setting himself up to kick the ball deep into Canterbury's territory.
That's why I think Glenn Lazarus was introduced, Gary. They needed to be getting across the advantage line to be able to play some sort of field position. That was a good kick, but again, well fielded by Scott Wilson. Great positional play, Scott Wilson. Not many balls bounce when he's around. If they do, they only bounce once.
This is Williams, the left winger, working from the right back to the centre. Jason Smith able to stand and promote for Kevin Moore. He's doing a wonderful job, Kevin Moore, in the absence of Terry Lamb, and of course Polomouta has been kept in reserve grade. He must be doing something right, and quite obviously he is. Not played at by Brisbane. The ball bouncing back to Darryl Halligan. He won't restart the tackle count. Halligan gets... Oh! A shot, was it, or a shoulder charge?
Shoulder charge, Peter Ryan.
Big hit by Ryan. Manson saw it and said, play on. I'm not suggesting anything other than that, but my goodness, it was a big hit. Khan smashed into the ground by McCracken. This is the shoulder charge from Peter Ryan.
That's a beautiful shot, that one. Coming in on the blind side of Jim Dimmick, who did well to keep control of the football. Wendell Sailor now playing at 25 out from his own line. Lazarus takes it over the 30-metre.
Oh, sloppiness. That is a knock-on against Brisbane.
Andrew G took his eye off the football. Kerrod Walters tried to slip a short ball up to him, but Andrew G believed that he was out of the play.
Glad we replayed that for a moment. I thought that it hadn't come off the hand of Andrew G, but it quite obviously did. And now a knock-on by Canterbury. So it's Mistakesville.
It's not all good either for Canterbury. Dean Pay, got a problem with his left knee, may only be a cork. He's looking around, looking towards the trainer.
It doesn't look as though they'll keep him out there long. Robert Ralph in 41 has moved to the side. Dean Pay comes straight off. Too valuable a merchandise to leave out there if not 100% right.
4 points to 2. In the modern game, it's a rare scoreboard. Just 6 points scored and only one try. Canterbury inside the 5 from the scrum. Kevin Walters takes it to the halfway to be pulled down by Robert Ralph, only on there a matter of seconds. G. No Gavin Allen. No Alan Can. 8 players backing up, so they've got very much the card stacked against them.
They've got a little bit of momentum, but here, Ray. They're getting a couple of sets of 6 in a row, a few penalties. Galia now takes it up, can't beat the tackle down low of Darren Britt with Dimmick's help. This is the last tackle, centre field. Ball will go to Langer.
Langer's kick just over the heads of the defence line. A chance for Brisbane, but now it's a chance for Canterbury. Williams taken by Kieran Walters.
A good kick there from Alan Langer, finding some space in behind the Canterbury line. Not easy to do on the last tackle. Very unusual sort of kick. I don't think he's hit that one right.
These are so hard for fullbacks to read, aren't they? Whether to go in, Scott Wilson in 2 minds there, whether to go in and attack the ball and maybe leave your goal line unattended or wait to see what happens.
Britt, short ball over for Jason Smith. Jim Dimmick tried to break the line. Defence closing.
A good tackle there from young Domick on Chris, on the Canterbury centre coming through.
Sailor now. Hone getting ready to swap around with Andrew G. Talking of sidelines, let's go to Michael.
Yeah, it's interesting. Chris John just makes his break. With the defence of Canterbury, he's done a great job, Chris Anderson, with the defence. It's noticeable that Kevin Moore plays out of the line, whereas Alan Langer's playing in the line still. I'd be interested to hear your comments on that.
Well, I think that you'll find that Kevin Moore plays that kind of role just to make sure that the defence is well organised. Alan Langer probably likes to do more defence than his opponent. It seems to work well for the Bulldogs, and now Brisbane keeping the football alive. This is the last tackle. Langer's playing the football, so they'll need to find someone else to kick here on the last. It's Kevin Walters.
Pushing it down into the corner of Darryl Halligan. He comes away from the 10-metre line, Halligan.
I wouldn't be surprised the fact that Kevin Moore plays in the second line is maybe tribute to the short kicking game of Alan Langer as well. I'd say that Canterbury would see that as one of the major dangers to come out of the Brisbane side. They do somehow safeguard that by playing the sweeper in there for most of the tackles.
Scott Wilson, and a penalty goes against Brisbane for being inside the 10. Scott Wilson came to an abrupt halt here. Looks at the referee.
Well, I think he played for that there. He saw Julian O'Neill hadn't retired. In an offside position and ran straight into him and milked the penalty.
Marty Bella, 8 metres into Brisbane's area as Darren Britt lumbers up a couple of metres further. That's where they are on the park, in front of a crowd of probably over 40,000. And here's the Bulldogs. Also able to make a mistake.
They're gone forward the pass there. They do like to attack the blind side, Canterbury, around the halfway line and involve their forwards, especially Simon Gillies. Jason Smith gets the pass away to Gillies. That one went backwards, but the pass before had been ruled forward by David Manson.
Well, that short corridor that they're attacking, Sterlo, it's a side that a lot of clubs, they tend to leave. Tired players find themselves on the blind side. Canterbury do exploit it, and they've done so on many occasions tonight.
He did spend some time on the blind side too, Badger, remember?
Sailor up from full back, unable to find the hole that he was looking for. 30 metres out from his own line. Canterbury started at a cracking pace. Brisbane seemingly have got their game together much better in the last 15 minutes or so. Kerrod Walters to the halfway line for Willie Kahn. Kahn running into some jolting defence on the fifth tackle from Darren Britt. Langer again. If at first you don't succeed, try and try again. That ball will not go over the dead ball line, and Brisbane are going to try and hem him in. They do. Scoreboard 4-2 on Friday Night League in favour of the Sydney side.
Saturday.
Hey, make a wish. The winner is Sydney.
You'd have to be bonkers to miss Hey Hey in Sydney.
Be there.
With Kate Sobrano, Hoodoo Guru's Culture Shock and Take That.
I find that hard to believe. Hey Hey is Saturday, right here on 9.
Allow us to highlight a few of the new Mitsubishi Verada's features. Introducing the new Mitsubishi Verada V6 Xi.
Here's a super home insulation offer. For a limited time, you can get an extra 25% more thermal resistance absolutely free from Insulco Fat Bats. That's more comfort and energy savings all year round. And you'll also have a chance to win $250 off your power bill, or a new clothes dryer, or a luxury night away for two. With Insulco Fat Bats, you win with value, comfort and energy savings. And you could win even more. Available now from Campbell's Hardware and Timber.
What new taste sensation can possibly please even Dine's fussiest food critics? For Natasha loves delicious salmon and whitebait, whilst Seymour enjoys tasty cheese, and Boris prefers tender meats. Introducing Dine's Special Blend. This unique combination of tastes, whole whitebait, cheesy crisps, and salmon or beef, will satisfy even the fussiest food critic. New Dine's Special Blend. It's a special way to dine.
Don't say you won't. Don't forget. Don't let the don't please. Don't get the chance, look back, let's see. Don't let the chance go, give it a try. Don't let the chance go by. Why wouldn't it be a scream? Don't forget to get your instant scratches. Don't let the chance go by.
Haviland Formula 3 motor oil protects some of the most sophisticated engines ever built. World champion drivers Nigel Mansell and Mario Andretti depend on it. Haviland Formula 3 protects their cars against starting friction, heat stress, and engine deposits. Haviland Formula 3 from Caltex, the same motor oil you can buy right off the shelf for your car. Haviland Formula 3. Add more life to your car.
8 o'clock Monday.
She will not take no for an answer.
When your numbers are...
Hey, everybody! It's a duck!
It's hard.
Just go enjoy the party. You let me know when you're ready to go.
I'm ready now, baby.
Frasier, 8 o'clock Monday after Murphy Brown on 9.
6 minutes of the first half remaining. Canterbury 4-2. And the line dropout give Brisbane a very good chance. Best field position Brisbane has had on the first tackle. Saylor put away 29 metres out from the line on the second. Langer ran a decoy. Mark Hone comes the other way. And they put up the centre, Glenn Lazarus, to come right for Kevin Walters. This is the fourth play. Chris Johns gets a pass in for Kevin Walters. Willie Kahn driven back by Matthew Ryan. 20-metre line. This and one more. Galia. Now the last. Kieran Walters. Langer. Peter Ryan's pass intercepted by Halligan. Tackled by Domick. No marker, says the referee. Play on, and Scott Wilson gets it outside the 40-metre line. Williams across for Brett. Kieran Walters up the top and Mark Hone underneath.
Well, that was very good rolling play from Canterbury. Peter Ryan, a bit unlucky. He was under some pressure in passing the ball. Big hit there from Lazarus on Robert Ralph. That hurt the head. It's now Jason Smith again gets involved, and we see a Brisbane player come out of it the worse for wear. Looks like Galia. Last tackle now, getting down to the danger time before half-time. Kick over Michael Hancock's head will find touch.
About 15 metres out from the line. They omitted to give you that earlier game result. 12-6 in favour of the Bulldogs. Reserve grade. So then, very close to the half-time break. And as we so often say, dangerous part of the game. So often a try is scored in this period, and here's Willie Kahn. He's got his foot flat on the floor and ran into a beaut tackle by Scott Wilson. Canterbury getting back in the line, but Brisbane have got a golden opportunity. The ball is with Domick. Domick is taken by Dimmock and Bella. They're 32 out, centre of the ground. Hone. Canterbury's defence line is now organised. Kieran Walters on the 30. Langer across. Kevin Walters knocked on by Chris Johns. The scrum will go down just beyond the Canterbury 20-metre line.
We're seeing glimpses of the Brisbane of old. Willie Kahn streaking away down the sideline, just too quick for Jason Williams. What a great tackle there. Scott Wilson up to the task. I was saying the Broncos starting to find a little bit of that form and only take a try or two. That confidence to come back into their play.
2.25 minutes out from the break now. Canterbury's Kevin Moore looking to play the blind side, but there was no personnel interested in going down that corridor. Martin Bella almost to the halfway line. 4-2, one try in the game, scored by Canterbury. Darren Britt has lost it, offering Brisbane an opportunity. Kieran Walters sweeps it wide. Julian O'Neill. Canterbury are able to get back in the line so quickly. Their speed of reorganisation is quite incredible. Langer with a short pass for Kevin Walters, but Dimmock is there to put him away. Kieran Walters angles for Langer. Langer gets around behind them and between them. Alfie Langer puts a kick in. Kevin Moore dives on it.
You've got to pay tribute, Ray, to that scrambling defence and cover. Canterbury, Kevin Moore's been leading the way there. See Alfie here. He's beaten a few tackles and through the hole. Couldn't get the ball on the inside, but he knew he had a couple of players there. Kevin Moore stuck the leg out. Well done. But Canterbury, they just keep scrambling, turning up.
Plenty of numbers in the Canterbury defence line. Darren Britt, who made the original mistake. We're inside the last minute now of the first half. Matter of seconds remaining. Dimmock clears. Came off one of the Brisbane players. No knock on, charge down. And this is Scotty Wilson. His powers of anticipation, Scott Wilson, are very good. Finely honed. And that doesn't come by good luck. Something that the very good players have, and it gives them time. Anticipation breeds time for them. Jason Smith has taken a knock to the throat area. Siren has sounded. Jason Smith is on his feet. He's okay. Manson goes across to inquire if he is. And Canterbury lead at half-time, 4 points to 2, just the one try. It was a great try, really. Scored by Jim Dimmock. Kraken was strong in the try. So was Dean Fay and Darryl Halligan. So the Bulldogs looking to win 10 straight. They leave at half-time in front of Brisbane by just 2 points. Peter Sterling will be joined by Gary Belcher in just a moment when we come back.
Queenslanders appear relaxed.
It's a miracle!
The Empress himself, Wally Lewis.
There are so many ways you can go managing your day-to-day finances. For example, each member of the Edwards family has chosen a different Metway Bank options account. One account has no bank fees for busy transacting. Another pays high interest with limited bank fees. And another offers a combination of both. It's called Options and it's from Metway. So when will you consider your options?
We'd love to do business with you.
I'll get the phone.
New from Panasonic, a cordless phone that lets you make calls with or without the handset.
We should have bought a Panasonic.
For under $20, you get 10 pieces of chicken, 2 large chips, 500-gram coleslaw, large potato and gravy, 4 rolls, and an apple pie.
KFC's Monster Value Party Pack.
So much food, so little money.
You know, this is still a lucky country. And when you buy Best of Australia produce, you got another chance to get lucky.
Buy any 2 of these Best of Australia brands, collect the barcodes, and you could share in over $400,000 in prizes. You could win an A.B. Jennings house and land package plus $50,000 cash, or one of 10 family holidays to the Northern Territory flying Ansett Australia. And there's 50 Westinghouse dishwashers to be won. Look for this symbol at your supermarket.
And get behind the homegrown product.
Hey, Doc. So what's the verdict then?
I've spoken to the specialist. You're going to need the ligaments in your knee repaired.
So, you know, how long before I can compete again?
Well, it's elective surgery, so you'll have to wait until there's a hospital bed available.
But this is murder. I'm in pain here, Doc.
I know.
So, how long do you think, Doctor?
It could be months.
This'll ruin me, Doc.
It's elective surgery, so you'll have to wait until there's a hospital bed available.
No, I want to get it done now. In a top hospital, by the top surgeon.
I hope you're covered.
Yeah, I'm in MBF.
Then you've got no problem.
Man against man, bone against muscle. Oh, I love rugby league. It brings Australians together as they tear each other apart.
Yeah. And you can win money.
Yeah.
Footy Town. Win money.
Tomorrow night, North's looking to get back on track in front of their home crowd up against Illawarra, hoping to continue their outstanding form. The Bears clash with the Steelers at North Sydney Oval. 8:30 tomorrow, only on 9.
Canterbury-Bankstown have their nose in front here at the ANZ Stadium in Friday night football, leading Brisbane 4 points to 2. What was a very entertaining first 40 minutes. Statistically, very little between the sides. They both had a lot of football. They both made mistakes. I guess Wayne Bennett wouldn't be happy with the missed tackle count there, 16 up against Canterbury's 12, although the Broncos did rectify that late in the first half. But plenty of work, Gary Belcher, being done by both sets of packs.
Yeah, let's have a look at the hit-ups and tackles, Sterlo, for the Broncos. Well, a couple of players really leading the way there. Brett Galia and Andrew G up there in the tackles and in the hit-ups. And, of course, Kerrod Walters, his tackle count high as usual. Whereas for Canterbury, well, it's been spread across the board. Martin Vella leading the way in the tackles. Darren Britt, outstanding in his hit-ups, but I think it's really in the form of offloads that Canterbury are leading the way.
Yeah, in the first 20 minutes, Canterbury looked very, very good. I thought the longer the half went, the more we saw of the old Brisbane, and they are starting to warm to their task. But Canterbury did put on the only try of the first half, and it was a beauty. Plenty of sets of hands, something that Canterbury are becoming fairly renowned for, keeping the ball alive.
Well, they don't mind offloading to Dean Pay with a beauty there. Kevin Moore been involved very well all night. That ball out there to Jared McCracken, who drew his man. It looked for a moment like Halligan could have gone over himself, but he managed to hold the ball up, and Jim Dimmick did very well to get the ball over in the corner.
Yeah, Daryl Halligan had a big job there. Both the Brisbane players failed to wrap the football up, which is obviously the first priority in defence, but they've had a little bit of trouble doing that because the Canterbury players are so adept at offloading. You mentioned Martin Bella surprised you, but they're playing with confidence and keeping the ball alive at all opportunities.
Well, they are. They're not only good at offloading, their support play is superb. We've seen on plenty of occasions. The Canterbury have been able to just stand in tackles. They know there's going to be players in support, so they're looking all the time. Marty Bella with the ball around the corner. This guy, Scott Wilson, has had a blinder in the first half in attack and defence. It looked like he was going to score on this occasion until Kerrod Walters got hold of him.
A perfect example of what Canterbury can do. We saw a front rower offloading to a fullback there, and that's always nice to see. But Brisbane have had their moments as well, and I thought in the last 10 or 15 minutes, they really put a lot of pressure on the Canterbury defence, and this was one of their better opportunities. But again, unfortunately, after Khan made the bust, the mistake came a tackle or two later.
Well, maybe there weren't enough players in support. So I know we had Alfie Langer there, who was back on the inside. Not enough players going forward. Once again, a good tackle by Scott Wilson.
But there are some good signs for the Broncos in that first half.
Well, I certainly think they're improving, and they're starting to get a bit of that Broncos confidence back into their play. If they can make a few more passes stick, get their support play going forward, get over the try line, I think we could see them get in front and maybe carry on with the win.
Yeah, very close battle between these two sides. It augurs well for a good second half. The Commonwealth Bank Cup continues this weekend, of course, and two Queensland sides in the shape of Maryborough High up against St Brendan's from Yeppoon. That's at 12 noon on Saturday, and from this game, we chose this as our Coca-Cola Junior Player of the Week.
As we mentioned earlier, the winner today through to the final 16. So a big occasion, good ball that time. Now onto the ball again as Kaplik. Well, no, in fact, it's Broadhurst. He's away from two now, looking to link up with a hooker. He's only got the hooker in support. Broadhurst may go all the way himself. He will and score. What a run from the winger, Grant Broadhurst.
Plenty of defenders there had an opportunity to get to him. He was looking for his support all the way. Didn't need them, Broadhurst. Fairly long striding winger. He's going okay.
Some good young sides coming in from north of the border into the Commonwealth Bank Cup, and once again we do thank Coca-Cola for their continued support of Junior Rugby League. Plenty of sport again happening this weekend, and here's just an example of the fare that will be served to you by the Channel 9 cameras.
Join us tomorrow on Wide World of Sports for a full review of Wednesday night's historic State of Origin visit to the Melbourne Cricket Ground. We'll mix oil and water in the Jet Sports Championships. Go door-to-door in the British Touring Car Series. Catch the pure artistry of the rhythmic gymnastic world titles. Ride the nose with those magic moments from the endless summer. And hit the rough road to Egypt in the Pharaoh's Rally Raid. On the Sunday edition with Max Walker, we'll take you for base jumping from El Capitan, on a diving adventure to the Cayman Islands, plus catch up with all the big results of the week. Then you can slip in the mouthguard and get ready for another hour of pure mayhem with all the gang on the Footy Show. On Sports Sunday, the perils of the racing game. Are our jockeys taking too many risks in the chase for big prize money? And the hurling hopes of young champion Kyle Vanderkype. His Aboriginal heritage has spurred him towards Olympic glory. All that and a whole lot more coming your way this weekend on the one and only Wide World of Sports.
And speaking of goofy looks, the Footy Shows, Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, the best way to start Sunday afternoon. And our guests this weekend will include Brad Fittler, Terry Lamb and John Cross, coming your way at 12 noon. So plenty of good things happening over this weekend, as there is here at the ANZ Stadium tonight at half-time between Canterbury and Brisbane. The Bulldogs lead 4 points to 2. We'll take a break and be back with all the second half action in just a moment.
Next week on Extra, the crocodile hunter and the pets that try to bite the hand that feeds them. Marriage is in trouble. Why saving your relationship could save us all a fortune. And the baby bellies doing the mini shimmy. Extra 5:30 on 9.
Allow us to highlight a few of the new Mitsubishi Verada's features. Introducing the new Mitsubishi Verada V6 XI.
Bad coughs can be very worrying. And although I'm not a doctor, I am a mum. And just like my mum, I know how to give fast, effective relief for a bad cough.
Benadryl, the cough medicine trusted by more Australians than any other.
So if a cough's starting to get you down, ask your chemist for the cough medicine more people ask for. It works for me.
Benadryl puts a cough to rest.
Come to Capricorn and lose yourself in nature, or in the waters of the Barrier Reef. Lose yourself on 2 magnificent golf courses, or on long sandy beaches. Lose yourself in excitement or tranquility, and find yourself in luxury.
Now who's got the strength that every man needs? You can do it yourself, they'll give you the lead. Now who are these people, these men of steel?
Good morning, am I still there?
Talking about M.I. Steel. We deal in steel. M.I. Steel. Everything you need. M.I. Steel.
For deals in steel.
The most famous musical in the world has at last come back to Brisbane. If you want to catch the return season of Cats, book your tickets now on 844-0100.
8:30 Tuesday, is Al getting soft?
I must not hire the first boob who walks in the door.
No way.
You're hired.
Married with children.
I thought that all women were totally useless. Now I realize it was just you.
Followed by Hale and Pace on Channel 9.
Welcome back to ANZ Stadium. We're at half-time. There's your scoreline. Canterbury leading Brisbane 4-2. And the statistics show that Canterbury, in all of their wins, have been in front at half-time. So that indicates that they've gone on with it.
Ray, another interesting statistic. The second half starts off with Mark Hone tackled midfield. There's only 2 sides that have a better win ratio than loss ratio against Brisbane. One of them is Canterbury, the other is Balmain. Canterbury will be looking to continue that trend. Out of 8 games, they've won 5. Chance of 6 tonight as Kerrod Walters darts out, as he's done very effectively tonight from dummy half.
So Brisbane now back to the halfway line, and Mark Hone, I know it's a play on words, but he's honing his skills. Mark Hone, almost every match he plays, he gets that little bit better. Halligan on the points for scored by both these clubs. He's the difference. They've had 165 coming into the game scored against them, both sides, but the 30 points more that Canterbury has scored, 30 or so, as you can see, they are attributable to Daryl Halligan. The real differentiation between these two sides is their place on the premiership table, as Matthew Ryan holds it back, and then McCracken steals a few more yards. Halligan gets a pass inside, and then Brisbane come up with it. I just want to identify this Canterbury player, Jim Dimmick. He really put his body on the line there. Langer pushes it across for Kevin Walters, and Robert Relf makes the tackle. Madison is out there for Brisbane.
He did a great job here, Jim Dimmick. He didn't come up with the football, but he stopped Julian O'Neill towing it through into open spaces. And now Brisbane started this second half off well. They've gone wide straight from the changeover. And that's what we normally expect from a Brisbane side when they're confident.
Strength there shown by Khan. 8 metres now into the opposition's area. This is Lazarus. We'll just stay with Brisbane for this set, and then we'll go down to Michael to see what he was able to find out at half-time. Kevin Walters driven back. Dimmick over the top. Robert Relf. They'll lose nothing in defence with him. Langer's kick is a towering bomb. Canterbury have come down with it with Kevin Moore. And so Canterbury inside their own 20-metre line. Let's go to the sidelines. Here's Mike.
Yeah, both coaches fairly happy. Wayne Bennett wanted Jason Smith wrapped up with the ball, and to slow the Canterbury side down and play the ball area. The referee was allowing that. On Canterbury side, Chris Anderson very happy with the defence. He wants to work the patterns more. Too much one-out stuff, he said, and more face balls around the back row and also out in the centres.
Martin Bella, meantime, playing it just inside the 40-metre line. Jason Smith getting a pass away for Hetherington to promote Williams down the left wing. And then that was Relf, who did very well to get a pass on and keep the ball alive. Played by Gillies, pushed on to Moore, then across to Dimmick. And Dimmick with a stabbing kick lands it in the face of Wendell Sailor back on his 10-metre line. Sailor then thumped away by the Canterbury defenders, Ryan and Dimmick. Langer, cross for Hancock. Bella making sure that Hancock is tackled and the ball comes out. And this is a very good chance for Canterbury.
A hefty challenge there from Martin Bella. Hancock on the ground. Bella coming in to make sure the tackle was completed. The ball came out. See him spinning out of the tackle. Held in one hand by Michael Hancock, the right hand. Wasn't good enough ball security. Scrum won by the Bulldogs.
25 metres out from the line. They come to the right through the back line. And Matthew Ryan pulled down by Wendell Sailor. Jim Dimmick. He loses it. Madison on for Kerrod Walters. Around Kevin Moore. Then Langer. Knocked down, I feel, by Canterbury. It has been nullified, the tackle count. Here goes Willie Kahn. He beats McCracken. Scott Wilson pulls him down but doesn't secure. And Jason Williams makes the tackle and hangs on. Then Kevin Walters. Now Glenn Lazarus. Back for Kerrod. Then away for Kevin. Now Galia back. And Peter Ryan offloads for Kevin Walters once more. 2 metres inside the 20. The Broncos, spurred on by their crowd. Langer works with Lazarus. Madison's a dummy half. Pushed out of there by Kerrod Walters. Peter Ryan. Pulled down by Robert Relf and Martin Bella. 8 metres from the line. Kerrod Walters. Langer. Kevin Walters. Decoy Hone. Angled by Johns for Sailor. Sailor beats one, stands and gives it to Madison. Madison back, and it's with Galia. Now Kerrod Walters, then Peter Ryan. Shrugs off a tackle, back to the 10-metre line on the 5th. Brisbane now, they're putting on their own razzle-dazzle. Langer with the grubber kick. Scott Wilson reads it, and Scott Wilson comes back. Tremendous passage of rugby league.
Well, that will warm the hearts of the Brisbane faithful, keeping the ball alive. It all started with the break from Willie Kahn after an unusual mistake from Jim Dimmick. But a beautiful clean-up again from Scott Wilson on the last. Alan Langer opting to put the little one through.
Bella sent them flying like 10 pins. Hetherington on the 30-metre line. Matt Ryan, the dummy half. Moore calling it, and then having to take the play himself. Domick was replaced at half-time by Terry Madison. Britt.
Heavy defence over the top there. Terry Madison and Glenn Lazarus, the 2 players off the bench. It's on the 4th or 5th tackle. It goes to Dimmick. Tries to find touch, but Kahn should get back there to pick it up in time. Got Wendell Sailor in support. Hancock has gone back as well. Kahn tries to bust. Can't beat Dimmick. And Matt Ryan.
Langer now back for the dummy half work, and Sailor always able to make yards. Fluent mover. Peter Ryan.
The man who I think could make a difference for the Broncos this half is Terry Madison. Way back when Willie Kahn made that break, he was the man that read it, threw the ball out wide.
Hancock throwing the pass. And Dimmick was able to come up with the ball for Canterbury. Bella. See the jolting effect it had on Bella, the tackle. Darren Brett. Madison over the top. That's where they are, Canterbury. Hetherington, Moore, short passing for Dimmick, the run around, then McCracken from the deep. And he's put down just inside the 20-metre line. Moore, hesitation in the Canterbury attack. Jason Smith floats it out for Darryl Halligan. Gets the kick in, but it's been ruled forward, the pass.
Good hand shown there by Darryl Halligan. Pass from Jason Smith was a fairly lengthy one and on the wrong side of the body. Those right-handed players like to throw it to the left-hand side of the field. Breakdown in communication there. Jason Smith, that one just floating forward. Halligan did very well to catch and kick almost in the one motion as Madison, unfortunately, leaves the field.
It's a blood bin, I think you'll find, for Terry Madison. Yes, it is. I was making comment earlier about the matches played between these two clubs in the last 12 months. And Brisbane have won 3 of the 4 encounters. Their most recent victory, of course, was in the Tooheys Challenge in a match that was hotly disputed. Eddie Ward made the decision. Canterbury went away the losers, but they believe they won it. But the records show that Brisbane 3 from 4 of matches in the last 12 months as O'Neill runs to the defence line before Johns is tackled.
Well, I know Manson there was playing the advantage from that scrum, but the Canterbury back line way offside. Certainly, I think he should have. They didn't get any advantage, the Brisbane backs. Penalty should have been forthcoming.
Yeah, so too, Jason Smith. He's a mile offside. He's broken way too. He didn't get involved in play, but sometimes that is enough to draw a penalty.
Well, that replay verified what Gary Belcher was saying. Now, Langer, that pass was forward to Peter Ryan. Last tackle now for Brisbane. Kevin Walters for Langer. Langer gets his kick in. It's a high kick with plenty of depth in it. Bouncing back there. Touched in flight. Indicates the referee Manson. As Scott Wilson has pulled down 15 out from his own line. Brisbane all up in the line, bar Alan Langer and Wendell Saylor. Langer in the sweeper role. And Saylor very deep. As Matt Ryan is hammered into the ground. 3 Broncos, including Glenn Lazarus. Darren Britt now. He tries to get the play out from the danger zone for Canterbury. Robert Ralph bouncing away from a couple of tackles and making good yards. Hetherington puts the kick in and it's gone out on the full. Not only that, it landed out on the track here. So he was well off cue, Hetherington.
He's just hit that one badly. It's come off the outside of the boot. Straight away the reaction. He knew that it was an ordinary kick. As Colomount comes on for Kevin Moore. Fresh legs out there. Not a bad idea for Alan Langer to drop in behind the line in defence. To have his full impact attacking-wise, he really doesn't need to be up there making a lot of tackles in the front line.
Johns with a flick pass for Saylor, but McCracken, gee, he reads the game well in defence. In fact, 2 of the best defensive centres in the game out there tonight. Chris Johns and Jared McCracken. Of course, both polished in attack as well, but they're outstanding defencemen in probably the position that is the hardest in defence. Away now to the right for Langer. A decoy run, and then Kevin Walters just belted out of it by Jason Smith. Kerrod Walters using Glenn Lazarus, and good work by Lazarus for Peter Ryan. 30 metres out, centre of the ground. Last tackle. Langer grubber kicks. There's a chase on, but it's not all that enthusiastic. Those legs of Julian O'Neill's, they weren't going as fast as they can. Scott Wilson, who's been perfectly placed all night. 4-2 in favour of Canterbury then. 15 minutes gone in the second half.
They're starting to look a little bit tired. Gary, the Canterbury side, I believe that from the kicks they're a little bit slower to get back. They've really thrown a lot at the Brisbane defence, which has scrambled particularly well tonight. Just a little sign of fatigue there, and I think one of those signs that maybe Chris Anderson sees the same as Pollamount being introduced.
Well, I think it can be a bit disheartening. They certainly have made enough breaks to score plenty of tries. He's only got over the line once, and perhaps it's to Brisbane's defensive, to their credit, that they've held them out.
Saylor plays it on the first tackle, right on the halfway line. And again, Brisbane get an opportunity coming off good field position. Hancock plays it on the second. Now we're on the third play. Kevin Walters for Willie Kahn. Kahn wrestled down over there by Matt Ryan. His defence tonight has been good as well. This is Galia. Tackle count fast expiring. Hone, set play by the Broncos. Walters tackled on 5. Kerrod was the dummy half for Langer. Langer with a little kick, he gets another strike on it. Will he get a third on it? He doesn't. Jason Smith combined with Craig Pollamount to save the day. Langer at his dangerous best there. Gillies.
And this is why Kevin Moore plays in the second line. Touched by Simon Gillies. Jason Smith did a good job to get the ball out of Alan Langer's way. Unfortunately, Pollamount was there to pick up the crumbs.
Played by Jason Smith. He's about 10 metres short of the halfway mark as they go back to go forward. Dimmick out to a flying Matt Ryan. And here's Jason Williams angling back for Jared McCracken to hand off. Robert Relf is held there by Peter Ryan. Nuggety fellow Robert Relf. Played in a Canterbury, I think, winning 21 side. Here's Bella stampeding ahead. Able to get it back for Williams to give off. And then Jason Smith, is it? Hetherington, in fact, playing it on the 5th. To the blind side for Pollamount. Rubber kick bouncing up for Saylor inside his own 10-metre line. Tries to run around Craig Pollamount. Hetherington comes in to help.
Well, I don't think Martin Bella could have done any more tonight to impress Queensland selectors. He was obviously upset at missing out on the second state game and had something to prove here tonight. And I think he's answered plenty of critics.
Lazarus.
Stello, I think from the Canterbury point of view, I've been impressed, I'd have to say, with Coach Chris Anderson's. The tactics of his side, they're obviously very well coached. They're skillful, offloading, standing in tackles. And you don't fluke it. It doesn't happen by the coach talking about it. You have to do it non-stop at training. I suggest that a lot of that goes on down there at Belmore.
Well, they've been very good, so you must take your hat off again to the Brisbane side that they've only had their line crossed once. The scrambling has been great, and in this day and age of the 10-metre rule, your scrambling is probably what's going to win your games. Oh, Scott Wilson straight through here. Langer's coming across.
Inside the 40-metre line, stands Langer up, comes to Wendell Saylor, and Willie Kahn drops back to help. Tremendous run again by Scott Wilson as they come across to the right now. Ooh, a nice shot on Pollamount. Manson allows play to go. Peter Ryan, I think it was. Jason Smith. Well, that pass looked forward inside to Gillies. And that's the way Manson has ruled.
Well, with the help of his touch judge as well there. He hesitated. He got the nod.
55 minutes gone then. Canterbury 4-2 over Brisbane.
Wednesday night at the movies.
I'm glad you're here.
A big-time doctor.
So, Doc, what do you think of our town? I don't know. I haven't seen all of it yet. Oh, yeah, you have?
Gets stranded in small-time USA.
I'm in the Twilight Zone.
And his plans for escape.
You're like a big, bright shooting star, and you're right bent you'd burn out here.
Are hijacked by romance.
Desperation, I like this.
Michael J. Fox leads an all-star cast.
Hey, Doc!
The romantic comedy.
You can blink now.
Doc Hollywood, Wednesday, 8:30 on 9.
These days, it seems nothing is built to last anymore. So, it's good to know you can rely on your Solar Heart for continuous steaming hot water, because only Solar Heart is built to last twice as long as ordinary hot water systems. Solar Heart, twice the hot water system.
Let's have a break.
Oh, she was so beautiful. I thought I could communicate.
It's only time to go back up there to do it, like.
Yes, I think we'll have to.
You stuck with a dolphin.
Now you're telling me my CTP covered everyone in the accident except me?
In Queensland, not all compulsory third-party insurers are the same. FAI will protect drivers at fault for serious injuries, so don't get mad, get even. Call FAI 13-1000.
Right now, at participating Shell shops and Shell Select stores, when you buy a Mars or Snickers triple pack or a 500ml bottle of Coke, you can pick up a sports bag for just $9.95. So for great value, go well, go Shell.
Well, there's a party going on, and the place is kind of hot. There's an art to it, and a heart to it. You can do such a lot. We're gonna get your heart racing. Come and get your heart racing.
Get your heart racing at this year's Winter Racing Carnival. 2 whole months of racing, sport, art and entertainment.
Come and get your heart racing.
Down to 9 degrees, we're told, in Brisbane tonight. Topped at 19 today as Langer prepares to feed this scrum. We welcome you back to ANZ Stadium. And Kevin Walters trying to make that break as Brisbane probe for an opening to get to the lead in this match. Let's go down to the sideline for a comment from Michael O'Connor.
Yeah, this is probably the most important 25 minutes of football for Brisbane this year, and that's a bad mistake, that one. I think he may be injured this player.
Well, Manson is very concerned, the referee. Glenn Lazarus is the player who's in trouble. Clutching at that left knee. And they've called immediately for the stretcher.
Well, this is serious. Referee, we can see him twisting the knee underneath him there.
One of the awful sights of sport is rugby league, plenty of physical contact there, and sometimes when the body's going one way, hit by momentum from another way, something's got to give, and maybe in that instance there, it was Glenn Lazarus's knee. You can see he's in plenty of pain. The big man, the left knee. Straight away they've called for the stretcher. An awful sight as Darren Smith moves to the sideline with headgear in hand. Here comes the ambulance.
I suppose the question is a fair one, but then again, when you watch rugby league as much as we do, and you listen to the number of changes people want made, I sometimes wonder about that third tackle when those joints, they're not meant to go that way, the ankle and the knee. And oftentimes it's in a 3-man tackle that it happens.
Yeah, but I do think that, you know, with players still moving, sometimes when the 2 players actually have the player and the 3rd man comes in, he's not needed. But really, there was no way known that Jason Smith could have stayed out of that. In fact, all he's done is try and push the guy back, and he had every right to do so. Just one of those unfortunate things that happen in rugby league, and Glenn Lazarus, again, as you can see, is in great pain. So
well,
to the New South Wales selectors.
I would imagine it's the second thing we must think about. The first thing is the health of Glenn Lazarus, but from an Origin point of view, this is one very sorry sight for the New South Wales Blues.
From Wayne Bennett's point of view as well. Remember, the Broncos are teetering on the edge of making the semi-finals or not, and that man is a vital link in their campaign towards securing a finals berth. It's not a good side for him or the hierarchy here at the Broncos.
38,302 here at ANZ tonight. And I'm just wondering, are they seeing the end of Glenn Lazarus in 1994?
Boy, Tate, that's not the case, especially in what is a kangaroo year. And he would be one of the first players chosen, Glenn Lazarus. Any luck, it might not be as serious as what it first looked when he went to the ground. Amazing what the medical people can do these days with joint injuries. The knee is one that rugby league players do fear. Obviously, damage to the cruciate can mean a reconstruction, and it means a long time on the sidelines with rehabilitation.
So Darren Smith is out there now for Canterbury, and Sid Domick has gone back on. Canterbury coming up with the scrum win, 25 metres out from the Brisbane line. And Darren Smith straight into the attack and carries the ball a good 10 metres. Now they come at them from 15 metres out. Hetherington put away by a three-man Broncos tackle. And again, Darren Smith goes to dummy half. The ball swept away for his brother Jason, and Jason Smith dives in to score. Canterbury go to an 8-2 lead.
Oh, he's a dynamic player, Jason Smith, and we talk about Martin Bella making State of Origin. This guy has got to be there. Nothing on here. Just some sloppy defence in the middle of the ruck. They overread the play. They fell for the dummy of the inside pass. That meant he was only taking on one defender instead of two. He's shown enough strength and acceleration to get through.
I think it's Sid Domick there who didn't adjust early enough, and Kerrod Walters has also been wrong-footed. Vital points.
Well, he shaped the pass inside, didn't he, Gary? And that put Mark Hone in two minds. And he scored adjacent to the uprights too, so not a difficult conversion attempt here for Darryl Halligan. It just looked like one of those occasions where he thought, well, something needs to be done here, and I'll take it on my shoulders.
Halligan just 18 metres out. That's his angle. Not a difficult piece of work for this fellow. And there's the added 2 points. So Canterbury now with a more comfortable margin. 58th minute, leading by 10-2. And no Glenn Lazarus now for Brisbane.
On 60 Minutes, the startling story of three babies mixed at birth.
You're living with a family that you've always thought were your family?
These two thought they were twins.
It's quite a blow.
Then 20 years later, a chance meeting changed everything.
And it was like looking into a mirror. It was incredible.
Also, Yalavent's clash with Yasser Arafat.
Propaganda is not accurate.
And the fanatics who turned against him.
Proceeded to tear the film from our cameras.
And the wit and wisdom of Ernie Dingo. Toyota presents 60 Minutes, 7:30 Sunday.
For a ride as smooth as silk, you should consider a ride in the new Mitsubishi Magna.
Four Weddings and a Funeral, the film Australia's fallen in love with.
Rather like the first time one has sex.
Sorry. Are you sober? Absolutely. Orange juice all night. I congratulated him because all his other girlfriends have been such complete dogs.
To take the Lydia Jane Hibbert to be my awful wedded wife.
Four Weddings and a Funeral, showing at a cinema near you. Soundtrack out now.
Chic FX has a unique flexible head. Its twin blades and special lubricating strip can flex and curve to the exact contours of your face. So compared to other razors, Chic FX puts more of the blade edge to your skin. Chic FX, changing the face of shaving.
I'll get the phone.
From Panasonic, a cordless phone that lets you make calls with or without the handset.
We should have bought a Panasonic.
If you're enrolled in the American Express Membership Miles program, every purchase you make with the American Express card can give you Qantas frequent flyer points. So apply for the card and join Membership Miles now and take off on free Qantas flights quicker. To apply, just call American Express on 008 80 2020 today.
Get your hands into hardware and grab a bargain at Mitre 10. Choose from binfuls of bargain price quality hand tools, only $4.95 each. Grab a bargain with Encore stainless steel saucepans, guaranteed for 15 years, only $49.95, save $10. And make a grab for Fowler's compact hand basin, hardware in plastic and made in Oz, just $69.95. Get your hands on the Kelso wheelbarrow 43 litre, $49.95. Hurry in and grab a bargain at Mitre 10 while stocks last.
Brisbane then, this restart at the 58th minute of the game. 10-2 down. Bella leaving his impression on the game and the minds of the selectors. His performance continues at a high level. A chance for Brisbane now, but it's a penalty. Raked out by the Broncos, and it's Mark Hone that brings the penalty.
There's a mistake there right in front of the referee. Mark Hone pulls the ball out. Sometimes the last thing that you want is a break in play, and the Glenn Lazarus incident meant that the players were standing around for a couple of minutes, and they came up with the missed tackle. Sid Domick, who just come onto the field, was the man most responsible, but you just lose your concentration. You maybe lose the thread of the game for a vital second, and it hurt Brisbane on the scoreboard.
David Manson now refereeing around the ruck. Of course, that makes it easy for the defensive side to creep up. I think he's a bit concerned about what's going on in the play the ball area.
Well, Robert Relf appeared to have their ball stolen from him by Kerrod Walters. It went unnoticed, and Canterbury continue with possession. It could probably have been a penalty. Darren Smith taken in a beauty. Peter Ryan again. He's made some very big shoulder hits in the game. A couple of them very doubtful, but they've been proven to be quite legitimate. And there he is again with a diving tackle around the waist, and Kerrod Walters falls over the top. And Darren Smith is injured for Canterbury now.
Well, it was a rib tickler, wasn't it? And almost a smile on Peter Ryan's face there.
Oh, what a beautiful kick. You can't find it any closer to the corner post. It makes no difference, though. It'll come out to the 10-metre line. Darren Smith sucking it in.
He's been shortened up, Darren Smith. The best way to hurt a player with a legitimate tackle is to drive up under the rib cage. And side on, it's even worse, because you just can't get the protection of the arms and the ball in front of that area. You become more vulnerable on the side of the body. Peter Ryan is a great tackle.
Snaps the wind from out of you. Michael Hancock. Talking of Michaels, let's go to the sideline. Mike O'Connor's working with us tonight.
Yes, Glenn Lazarus in a bad way when he went past. The Brisbane doctor said it's too early to make a diagnosis, but judging from the swelling, it does look pretty bad. It was a double whammy for Brisbane. Not only did they lose Lazarus, but he came up with that drop ball as a result of that tackle, which led to the try.
Penalty goes to Brisbane now against Canterbury for raking it out. Just wondering what's become of Terry Mattison. He was sent to the blood bin, but he didn't come back, and I thought it'd be an urgent process to get him back. So it must have been more serious than we thought.
He has had a series of shoulder injuries. To mention a calf problem at the moment. He's going to be compounding his problems for the season. Hasn't seen a lot of football yet, Terry Mattison.
Kevin Walters firing a pass low for Julian O'Neill. They're 10 metres short of the halfway, and they're 8 points short of Canterbury. As Galia struggles up towards halfway, he's been one of their best yardage finders in the game. A forward brigade, Mark Hone pulled down by Jason Smith and Jared McCracken. Peter Ryan, Wendell Saylor. Hetherington launches himself. Ryan got a pass he didn't expect. The ball on the ground. Mark Hone able to clean up for the Broncos. Kerrod Walters on for Alan Langer. Chris Johns is after it at high speed, but Wilson again, his fullback positional play showing out, beating one, taken in the next. Kerrod Walters coming up with him. Canterbury player injured in the background down on the halfway. I think it's Jason Smith, but I think he's only cramped in the left leg. Here's his brother Darren giving a short pass on the blind side, and a groan from the Canterbury player. Robert Ralph as he takes the tackle. Bella surging in behind the play the ball. 10-2 in favour of Canterbury. Darren Smith hasn't been on all that long.
Jason Smith limps to the sideline. The last tackle as Polamatta doesn't get this one the way he wanted to. It's gone off the side of the boot. And Domick, well, he's been hit by Craig Polamatta, looking to make up for the mistake of the kick. The ball's gone over the sideline and Domick is hurt. So everything going Canterbury's way here. They'll get the scrum feed.
Well, this was a mistake by Polamatta, but Domick aids and abets him, and Polamatta hammers him into the ground and the sideline.
Well, how is this a Brisbane feed? It's been signalled that way, and Alan Langer chasing Craig Polamatta to grab the football. A stretcher is called for, and somehow there's a Brisbane scrum feed.
Well, the only thing I can think of is perhaps Polamatta got a hand to the ball, but it didn't seem to, well, it didn't look that way on the replay.
Mark O'Connor sitting on top of that incident. Let's go down to him.
Yeah, no, that's a perplexing one there, but if anything, it should have been a penalty to Brisbane because the Canterbury players are up inside the 10.
This is Langer. 26 going out there for the Broncos.
Brad Thorne in 26, the reserve grade lock forward. Wayne Bennett calling on all the troops now. Side 8 behind, and Andrew G up the blind side because there's a lot of defence there.
It's a debut that Sid Domick will long remember. Kevin Walters really shut down by Darren Smith. Really been able to snuff the Brisbane attack out with some great defence out in that area. Khan couldn't take it cleanly, but the ball was raked backwards. Canterbury come up with it anyway. Scott Wilson pulled down by Thorne. Just under 15 minutes of the match remaining, and 10-2 in favour of Canterbury. Dimmock. Darren Smith.
I think the great thing about Canterbury's defence, and let's face it, that's what's got them keeping Brisbane out tonight, is that they just keep coming forward. They slow the play the ball down, they work hard to get back, and they come forward at you all the time.
Polamatta makes a break for the Bulldogs. Polamatta crossing the 30-metre line. Dummy to Jason Williams, but ran back into the defence. Gillies. Hetherington, Darren Smith. Face pass over for Wilson. Then for Halligan, and Halligan's kick is too deep.
Well, the idea was good from Halligan. He did well to catch the football. Scott Wilson trying a little bit of tricky work on the inside, but Polamatta getting outside the Brisbane defence, the big men. Craig Polamatta looking to come back to link up with some support. Jason Williams overran. Dimmock was there, but again the scrambling from Brisbane was good. They now have the football centre field as Thorne takes the ball forward, met by Gillies and Darren Smith.
Just outside the 30-metre line they are. Langer across and finding Kevin Walters, and Billy Khan taken by Williams, the winger. Coming in off the wing, they're using the compressed defence, an umbrella style defence. Canterbury with the ball right on the halfway line. Dimmock. He's been very much the craftsman in what Canterbury have done. Kraken. O'Neill making the tackle with Langer.
I think you'll find with 13 minutes to go, they'll be very disciplined, Canterbury. They lead by 8. Polamatta
again. He promotes for Simon Gillies. Gillies is held about 12 metres, 15 out. Good work by Wendell Saylor. But Canterbury looking ominous again as the ball comes down for Kerrod Walters. Just when Canterbury looked like they might put it over the line.
It's been a masterstroke bringing on Craig Pollamount. Great acceleration. There's a penalty awarded here to Brisbane. They take the quick tap. They're on a roll. Alan Langer back to centre field.
And Chris Johns it is who looks for the gap. Kevin Walters finds himself a dummy half. 10-2. About 12 minutes of the game remaining. Andrew G plays it now.
I think they've got to work to Willie Kahn. He's the strike player. Probably the Brisbane player, along with Alan Langer, who's looked the most dangerous. There's a scramble here from Hancock to play the ball. He's going to get a penalty here. And the Canterbury players still lying. Now, they're 8 behind. Interesting just to see whether they decide to go for the 2 points. It doesn't look as though they're going to. Well, they may have thought about that to put them within a converted try.
Well, I think they're thinking about a win, Sterlo, rather than scrambling for a draw. They need to score twice.
Canterbury Simon Gillies was the man penalised and also the man injured. He's okay. He's back in the line. As Andrew G plays it 12 metres out from that line. And Mark Hone gets it to 9 metres now. The second play. Kerrod Walters using Thorne. Huge lump of a lad. 5 metres out. They throw the dummies and the decoys, and Kerrod Walters actually goes back and loses about 10 metres on that play to the blind side. And that's Julian O'Neill. The line you can see just in front of him. Away to Alan Langer. Long wide pass, and then he kicks for Willie Kahn's wing. But Jason Williams, he out-Kazali's it.
Oh, it's Dermot Burton out there. He's climbed and taken the ball over the head. Willie Kahn, he is a very, very good catch of the high ball, Willie Kahn, but Jason Williams got the body position on him, never took his eyes off it, and 2 hands plucks it out of the air.
They don't come much better than that.
Ryan now. Ralph.
I was about to say before Pollamount made his last break that you'll see a disciplined last 10 minutes here from Canterbury. They're 8 in front. They know the opposition need to score twice. Pollamount gets the kick in. So they don't have to take chances. They just have to make sure defensively they muscle up and stay strong and watch for Brisbane going wide, because that's where they could be hurt.
Hancock now put away 40 metres out from his own line.
Got a little bit of a knock on there from Hetherington. That's what the crowd were appealing for. Got a break here from Brisbane.
Down the right flank they go to Kahn. Willie Kahn. Williams comes at him and makes the tackle. In fact, it wasn't Williams, but Halligan. Now it's come across for Kevin Walters for Alan Langer. Langer looks for the line, gives it back for Walters. And Kevin Walters gets the try. Brisbane, they're coming back. Under 10 minutes to go, and they get the try they needed.
And it was a great try too. Kevin Walters putting the ball down, but it was good lead-up work. Alan Langer again involved. This was the initial break. Wendell Saylor, the ball back inside to Chris Johns, who made the bust. Good tackle coming up shortly on Willie Kahn. Kahn very hard to stop. That was the tackle there by Daryl Halligan, coming from the other wing. That's a great effort. And from the next play, Alan Langer, the short ball recipient, beats 2 tackles, and the pass back inside to Kevin Walters, the best combination of the halves, almost under the posts.
Julian O'Neill. Is it? Yes, it is. I thought for a second it was Willie Kahn, but Kevin Walters the try. Julian O'Neill with an easy conversion to make it 10-8. Kicks the goal. Now we've got a great climax to this game. 8 minutes to go. The Dogs lead by 2.
We see this ball coming here for Kevin Walters. And then Alfie Langer. When your side's in trouble, you need inspiration. And who better than these 2 players? Alf and Kevy combining to get the Broncos back into the match.
Big play from Kevin Walters, wasn't it? As Martin Bella It's an early mark. Kevin Wallace threw the pass to Langer and then stayed alive, double back to get the football.
Reardon has gone on for Bella. As Andrew G rumbles outside the 20-metre line. Home keeps it going for the Broncos. Michael O'Connor.
Oh, no doubt about it. Willie Kahn back to his best. He's not a centre, he's not a fullback, he's a right winger. And Peter Sterling quite correctly pointed out the two strike players, Alan Langer and Willie Kahn, they were the two players instrumental in that try.
Hancock typifying the lift that's there now for Brisbane. This has been a great set of 6. Kerrod Walters 42 metres out from the opposition line. Langer keeps it low, looks for the line. Will he find it? No. It's in goal and picked up by Scott Wilson. It's a line drop out. Well, Brisbane will get it back.
We've seen 2 perfect kicks in this game, and they've both been from Alan Langer. And both times they've stopped centimetres in the in-goal area from going out of play. This is a fullback's nightmare. Jason Williams turns, he has a look around. He's got no choice, the number 1.
And why did Alfie Langer have the opportunity for that nice short kick in the corner there? His forwards did the hard work, bringing the ball back from the kickoff. It's getting the Broncos back into the match.
Time is just under 6 minutes to go. Here's the first play. Sailor. Oh, great run. 22 metres out. Kerrod Walters, another dummy half run. It hasn't expired. Langer away for Kevin Walters. Back it goes for Kerrod. And the Ipswich connection. 10 metres from the line. That's the second play. Langer goes to the blind side. And well read by Craig Pollamouta. Third play. O'Neill. 4 metres out. The fourth play is gone.
Numbers on the blind side.
Kerrod Walters from dummy half. Mark Hone. He's tackled by Gillies. Also Demick. The last is with us now. Langer looks for the line, but he's tackled 2 metres away.
Oh, he's lifted himself, Alan Langer. He's pushing players out of the way to get the football. He nearly got across there. In retrospect, he probably would have liked to have kicked the football to get another set of 6, but he got outside Reardon's tackle. And Matt Ryan hung on for dear life.
That's how close he was, Alan Langer, to pulling this game out of the fire. Now Canterbury must play mistake-free football. McCracken chances a pass that didn't have to be thrown. Halligan is with it. 5 away from their line. Look at them. They're back on their own line. They have got 6 more tackles. Very good run there from Robert Relf. Now it's with Darren Smith. Darren just outside the 20-metre line. Thorne, 26, making the tackle with one of his colleagues. And that's Reardon. Picked him up and buried him. Handy piece of work there by, that's Dean Payback on.
He's been out there. There's a couple, those 4 runs there from the forwards have been very, very good. Putting the body on the line now. Dimmick comes inside Pollamouta, shrugs out of 2, gets over the halfway line. Inspirational stuff from the 5'8", but set the platform by the forwards.
Valuable metres for Jim Dimmick. Craig Pollamouta says, let's get them back on their line. See how they like it. Hancock. Sailor is with him, and they're 12 metres out from the line. On the wrong side of the scoreboard and the clock. 3.5 minutes of the game remaining, and Canterbury leading by 2. To the right they come for Peter Ryan. 25 out now from their own line. The Walters brothers. Kerrod's had an enormous game for Brisbane tonight. Kevin a dummy half now. Slicing through. Picks up the runners. John slick passes. Langer is with it. Langer gets away. Looks around for a runner, but he's tackled on 5. Away goes Kevin Walters now. Desperation for Brisbane. Kerrod Walters puts the kick in and finds the line.
Well, with only a couple of minutes to go, they really didn't want to find touch there. It's going to be difficult now to win one against the feed. We haven't seen one all game. And the clock winding down is in Canterbury's favour. Brisbane now need to force a mistake. They need to come up with some big defence or put pressure on the Canterbury players. They must get possession.
I think Brisbane will get one more opportunity with the ball. About a minute it takes to go through a set of 6 tackles. There's that one against the feed.
Big push by Brisbane gets them the ball. Now from Kerrod to Kevin. Wendell Saylor's in the back line. Saylor is 12 metres out. Willie Kahn's the dummy half. Listening for a call. Goes himself, Kahn. 7 metres from the line. Kerrod Walder's in now to acting half. Alan Langer. Langer scoops it away. Here's a chance for Galia. There's the try. There's the try. It's been scored by Peter Ryan. Ryan gets in the corner, and the fans have gone mad here.
There's the State of Origin finish the Broncos were looking for.
This was the point where it all came for Brisbane. They got a big push on them. They won it against the head, and this is how it finished.
Well, the desperation of Alan Langer here, running at the defence, gets the ball away almost on the ground, and a beautiful pass here to Peter Ryan. There must have been some hint of forward. That's what Scott Wilson was appealing about.
Well, you hate to say it, but Alfie Langer there, he's almost down. He's not out. This pass here from Brett Galia on the side on. It's a bit iffy, but who cares now? The points are on the board. The Broncos are home.
Got a bit of a feeling that you don't care. You certainly don't care.
The pressure's off the coaching staff for another week.
I think we should try and have a look at it again if we can, because this has been a heartbreak try. Canterbury leading for the entire 80 minutes, you might as well say. 12-10 in favour of Brisbane. We'll have a look at that pass again. We only need the final pass, and we'll show it to you after this. If it has been forward, it will take the gloss off what has been a magnificent fight back. O'Neill. Siren should sound right now as the ball goes just wide. So it's over, and Brisbane on the scoreboard have won it. 12-10, and their fans are absolutely ecstatic. 38,000 of them, and I don't think they thought they could win, but Brisbane did, particularly Kerrod Walters, Alan Langer and Kevin Walters. The Ipswich connection, they were magnificent in the dying stages.
Alan Langer did a Wally Lewis here tonight. He rose to the occasion, and he was the orchestrator of this win in the last 20 minutes. Amazing to think that they won the football through a win against the feed. It just doesn't happen. We went 79 minutes and hadn't seen one. The big push from Brisbane, they got the play from the scrum, and they were good enough to get the ball over the line in a couple of tackles after that win.
Well, of course, they've broken that golden run by Canterbury, a record 9 wins in a row. They should be disappointed, but hold their heads high. The Bulldogs, they played extremely good football. It took a magnificent effort from the Broncos to eclipse them.
Well, look at the fans. They have not moved. I don't think one man, woman or child has even entertained the idea of leaving ANZ at this point in time. Let's have a look at that pass. I hate trying to cloud what has been a magnificent moment in the Winfield Cup. Langer's arm didn't touch the ground. Let's make that point. Here comes the pass, and I don't think there's any doubt that it went forward. Well, Ryan gets the try, but as Gary Belcher said, Ray, look at the scoreboard.
Well, we have to clarify that the ball initially must travel the backwards direction. Of course, the player can actually receive the ball in front of him. The momentum takes the ball forward, and let's hope that's what's happened there.
Little crash course on the rules of the forward pass from Gary Belcher.
He's kidding too, isn't he?
I'm trying to justify it to myself now.
We've got to take a break. We'll come back with more of this summation in just a moment. Hope you've enjoyed what you've seen so far. We're back in a moment.
Sunday night at the movies. Thunder Heart.
Where the hell did they send us?
Long way from home, Ray.
Val Kilmer.
Better keep your boy on a leash!
Sam Shepard.
But somebody's trying to tell us it's checkout time.
And Graham Greene from Dances with Wolves.
Chasing the wrong man. Jimmy didn't do it.
Sent to investigate a murder.
Nobody's gonna talk to me.
In the most hostile place on earth.
It was a good day to die.
For the first time on television.
Put your seatbelt on.
Thunder Heart. 8:30 Sunday on Channel 9.
Right now, at participating Shell shops and Shell Select stores, when you buy a Mars or Snickers triple pack or a 500ml bottle of Coke, you can pick up a sports bag for just $9.95. So for great value, go well, go Shell.
Diane was young, strong, healthy.
Annette tells how her employee's critical illness convinced her to take out AMP's new crisis care insurance.
She contracted lymphomic cancer, and it really struck home how vulnerable we all are. So when Mary approached me about crisis care, it was pretty relevant.
There is money there to enable you to get through a financial burden if you have a health crisis. And we've all seen the devastation it can leave when there's not enough money around to pay the necessary bills.
AMP Crisis Care Insurance pays a cash lump sum on diagnosis of defined serious illnesses. Immediate cash that can be vital while you recover.
I would make sure that my little girl would be looked after accordingly, and basically it'd be just a guarantee that I would have a quality of life that I would want.
It's the living benefit. AMP's crisis care is actually money that they could use now. You don't have to die to collect the money.
I want to show you how Goodyear can save you three ways. Firstly, every Goodyear tyre is built with a total commitment to safety. Then, at every Goodyear Auto Service Centre, we can save you money. We guarantee we won't be beaten on any advertised price on Goodyear tyres. And we can save you time by ringing our number for fast, friendly service. Proud to service and sell these quality Goodyear tyres, and I'm proud to say,
if it only saves you once a year, it's a Goodyear!
The Falcon Long Reach Ute.
That look no different.
Now with over 40 major improvements, nearly 200 horsepower, and the option of a 1-ton payload capacity. The Falcon Long Reach Ute.
Don't look no different.
For 10 days only, Naji goes public. Everything at a fraction of normal retail prices. Naji goes public for 10 days only. 201 Elizabeth Street, opposite the Hilton, ends Sunday, June 19th.
Tomorrow night, North's looking to get back on track in front of their home crowd up against Illawarra, hoping to continue their outstanding form. The Bears clash with the Steelers at North Sydney Oval. 8:30 tomorrow, only on 9.
No better finish than what we've seen here tonight at the ANZ Stadium in Brisbane. The Broncos snatching a win in the final seconds, 12 points to 10 over Canterbury-Bankstown, and their points came from